It's 20 to 7. Aid is making its way into Gaza after Israel eased an 11-week-long blockade of the territory. But the head of the United Nations has warned it's only a trickle compared to what's needed, and the risk of famine remains very real. Joining us now is Mike Seawright, founder and executive director of ReliefAid. Thanks, Mike, for being with us. Can you tell us what your people on the ground are telling you about the situation in Gaza at the minute?
The situation in Gaza is absolutely terrible. Even by the standards that we've seen to date, the situation is dire. Families are unable to feed themselves. Water is becoming hard, if not impossible, to source. And of course, the security situation with the ongoing ground offensive combined with the blockade is causing quite literally hell, as our team tells us on the ground every day.
So what can teams, relief agencies like you do?
Well, it's a good question, and it's a question that humanitarian organisations are struggling with right now. Bringing aid across the border from the likes of Egypt is extremely difficult with the blockade. ReliefAid's been able to maintain its aid operations inside Gaza because we're sourcing safe drinking water from within Gaza and distributing it to families that are living in camps. That said, if we were reliant, as many families, most of Gaza reliant on food coming across the border, this would be a dire situation for both the families and, of course, the humanitarian organisations who are trying to serve this population.
After 11 weeks, I think, of a complete blockade, trucks were allowed in. But how close do you think the people of Gaza are to famine?
The aid that's crossing the border, even the last few days, is an absolute trickle. We would call it a fig leaf of support. In many cases, it's been considered a political act rather than a humanitarian act, demonstrating that aid can reach Gaza. But in fact, before the war, when 500 trucks a day crossed into Gaza, 93 trucks crossing over a 4-day period is absolutely nothing. It will do little or next to nothing to staving off the hunger crisis that's happening inside Gaza right now.
And the trucks are there, aren't they, Mike? They're ready to go.
There are thousands of trucks sitting on the Egyptian border ready to cross. This humanitarian crisis can be averted if the blockade is lifted. This is a lack of political will by Israel, which is stopping much needed life-saving humanitarian support from reaching families that desperately need it. And the world is simply talking. They are not taking action. And ReliefAid is calling the New Zealand government to actually take action rather than just placate Israel with words.
What would that look like for you, Mike? I know you wrote a letter to government. You urged them to take stronger immediate action. What does that look like from your end?
From our perspective, two things need to happen from the New Zealand government and governments from around the world. Stronger political action needs to be taken. Words are not enough. Families in Gaza cannot feed their families with words alone. The second action that needs to be taken is economic pressure. It is not enough to simply have diplomats at the UN or bilaterally talking to Israel and asking them to relieve the blockade, to lift the blockade. It's not working. If we want to keep the families of Gaza alive, action needs to be taken, not words.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said as long as the war continues, until the Strip is under Israel's control, what does that mean for the people of Gaza?
Well, I think there's two problems that need to be solved, and there are two parties to this problem. Hostages need to be released. The situation with regards to the Israeli hostages being held by Hamas is absolutely terrible. And at the same time, Israel needs to stop its offensive and blockade of Gaza. These are the only two actions that are needed right now. We need to create a security environment that protects the families of Gaza and a humanitarian environment that allows aid organisations such as ReliefAid to provide water without losing its staff and food to cross the border from the likes of Egypt.
Mike, I just wanted to touch on that before we go, because I know you recently 4 members of your team died in northern Gaza. I hope everyone is doing okay. It must be very hard for you.
We started the war with a team in the north, a team of 9. All of them are either now dead or injured. We've got a team in the south. Every day I'm waking up wondering if we're losing staff members in the south as well. It's not acceptable that aid workers are killed, and I'm wondering when enough is enough, when enough families, enough aid workers are killed, that peace will come to Gaza.
Will you be able to carry on operations?
Our team, it's incredible. I have to say, I talk to them each day and ask them whether or not the security environment is safe enough for them to continue. Their answer is very simple. We will continue to serve our people. We will continue to provide water where it's needed most. We will continue our work in Gaza. ReliefAid and our team will continue to bring life-saving, safe drinking water in Gaza. And we can only hope that we will not suffer further losses as a result of that.
Yes, Mike Seawright, we really appreciate your time this morning. Thanks for being with us. ReliefAid founder and executive director. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you very much.